It's been how long? Yes, hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we're going to be going down memory lane as we take a look back at Monster High G2, because yes, Monster High G2 just celebrated its 10th anniversary recently from its debut, and I thought what better time than to do a comparison of all the original core G2 ghouls, comparing them to the original G1 ghouls, G3, and just having a good time taking a look at what's evolved, what's changed, and was G2 really that bad? So stay tuned, subscribe, hit the notification bell, consider becoming a member today, and let's get into it. First up, we're comparing Draculaura's. So from G1 to G2 and now G3, we have the newest core dolls. You can definitely see that there has been a shift, you know? So the face screenings obviously are a bit different. We can see that she started out having like a bigger portion of white for her teeth, you know, and then they just used fangs for the other two generations. The eye color has always been purple, but G3 has more of like pink as well, you know. Now this specific Draculaura doesn't have bangs, but usually she does have bangs as well. But the hair, make sure the color of the G3 has changed. It's no longer mixed pink with black. It's now like, you know, divided pink and black color themes. So that is definitely different. And then the outfits also different. I mean, G2, you know, really wanted to go for that kind of G1 look of Drac, but the collar, you know, this is like plastic. And we got some blue for whatever reason, which I don't know why. The sleeves are just, you know, G1 didn't even have sleeves, but yeah, the sleeves just look kind of bare. We have 2 layers for the skirt, right? And then here, obviously, we got tights. And we got some lovely boots here. G2, Draculaura, has shorter boots, and again, blue. And G3, she's got some leg warmers. Like, look at that. And she is shorter, of course. So, I mean, it's just, Draculaura really has changed. G1, G2, G3, which version is your fave? No judgment here, you know? I think they're all beautiful. G1 came first. G2 was definitely an adjustment, but I still thought I still thought she was cute at the time. Like, I feel like the more of like a smile expression is cute, but I definitely don't know why they gave her blue in the color theme. Like, it doesn't make sense, you know? But yeah, otherwise, I mean, look at these girls. Look at these ghouls. They're all cute, but definitely G2 kind of stands out, right? Or what do you think? Next up, we have Frankie Stein, and of course, one of the main character differences between generations is that G2, G1 are both she, her, and in G3, Frankie is non-binary. So they use they, them pronouns. That is a major shift from the the character development of Frankie. But besides that, we have visual differences as well, as you can see. We have more of like a schoolgirl aesthetic for G1, G2. G3 still is schoolgirl-ish, you know, like school themed, preppy, if you will, but definitely more edgy. There's more patterns going on. There's more black, you know. There's like bolder neons and pinks included in their designs. And G1, G2 are more like kind of like simplified color themes, if you will, right? So the faces you can see here are definitely different. G1, G2, obviously very similar, you know, in like the eye shape. And obviously we have one blue, one green eye. Even the eyeshadow for G1, G2 is like similar, maroon, you know? The lipstick is just a brighter red for G2. Then G3 has pink lipstick and blue eyeshadow. Again, Frankie in G3 has had, I mean, all of the 5 main ghouls have had 3 different core iterations so far. So, like in the second core version of Frankie, they're wearing black lipstick. you know? So the lipstick color changes kind of drastically. So, but again, it's still like a darker makeup overall. And for G1, G2, you can see more of like a school girl kind of hairstyle, you know, pulled up in G1. G2, we got like a side bang, which I did myself. G3, it's just crimps, you know, crimps and loose hair. It's lovely and super long. The outfits, you know, again, G1, G2, very preppy, you know, themed. G3 is more casual, but still like the sweater vest combo, that's kind of preppy inspired. So we see inspirations here and kind of connections between the character of Frankie. And then going down, we have shoes, which are also very different. G1 has definitely more of like a classy shoe style. G2, G3 are more like boots. So yeah, the skin tone is also different. It started off as green and it's now shifted to like a light blue, the skin tone for Frankie. So yeah. Next up is Clawdeen, and she also has an interesting evolution here from G1 to G2 and G3. So G1 and G2, we have similar hairstyles. They're almost like a copy paste for the hairstyles. Just the difference is that instead of like the orange highlights, you know, like the lighter brown, we have purple now in the hair mix for Clawdeen. The eyes are much, you know, like smaller. Like there's like G1 has like smaller eyes, G2 much larger eyes. Obviously, we can see that she has lighter makeup and then like lighter lipstick as well. G3, also purple makeup. Her eyes are a bit, you know, sharper, and she's got freckles now. And also her nose is painted. Her lipstick is also like purple, but more of like a vibrant purple. And her hair also now has purple, like in every release, you know, consecutively. So that has kind of remained for Clawdeen's design. Then of course we have the ears, which for G1, G2 are basically the same mold. For G3, they're a bit larger, so that allows for bigger earrings as well. G1's screening is definitely, like mine, is a bit wonky, but I still think she's super pretty. The hair length is short for G1, G2. G3, I think overall has had longer hair on her releases, her core releases. And then the outfits, interestingly enough, they all have a touch of fur on their jackets. So G1, G2, basically the same jacket design, just the fur collar is a bit smaller on G2. G3 has some fur puffs at the shoulders, also kind of like, you know, a nod to G1's jacket. Then we've got necklaces for all three of them. For G2, they really emphasized a neon green in her design, which was interesting. I don't think it worked for G2. G1 Clawdeen has had dolls with neon green, but they really wanted to make it like a thing for her with green. Thankfully, G3 doesn't have a lot of green in her design. You know, it's more like purples and blacks, which definitely is more, you know, like G1 similar. The purse is huge on G3, and then the boots are similar for G1 and G3 as well. G2 has shorter boots and pants, which also the previous core Clawdeen and G3 had pants too. Next we have Cleo, and she is also very different. She changed a lot from her G1, G2 counterparts. So getting a closer look here at the faces, you can see that she has kind of evolved from having, again, smaller eyes. G1, G2 had larger eyes for sure. Also, the eye color was like teal and no longer green. Then we have G3 with a completely different eye color, which is like a dark blue. And you will see that the makeup has also changed from going more of like a simplistic purple with G1. G2 had like a light blue. And then this G3 Cleo has a mixture of blue and, you know, purple all together mixed. Her lipstick is lined in G3. It's like a plum shade. And for the previous two versions, they're kind of like lighter shades of red or darker shades of red for, you know, G1. G1, G2 had headbands. G3, no headband here. You know, the first core release for G3 Cleo did have a headband, but it wasn't the same design as the previous iterations. The hair is different. So G1 had kind of like average length. It was like darker brown with highlights of lighter brown and tinsel, kind of similar with G2 here. And in G3, much longer hair, and the hair color is completely different. It's no longer darker brown, it is now blue with highlights of gold and a little bit of tinsel, but that's definitely a major shift. The outfits here are similar in silhouette for G1 and G2. We have this kind of like shirt that flows very nicely. We have some wraps for G1, G2 did not get wraps. And then for G3, we have once again a very flowy shirt that has a fishnet sleeves. The pants, also interesting how they all have pants on. G1, G2, similar prints and designs, just G2's pants are shorter. And then G3 has much baggier and longer pants. And they're like darker blue with like gold cracked design on top. And then the shoes are also very different. G1 and G2 have similar kind of sandal wedges, kind of like a look of a shoe, you know. G3 is just fully like a boot. So I think it's interesting seeing the evolution for Cleo here. Last up, of course, we have Lagoona, and she, just like Frankie, has had one major change with her character. So she's Lagoona Blue, Lagoona Pink. She went from being blue to pink, yeah. So that is the main change, that she now has a pink skin tone in Generation 3. I guess because they tested the, you know, designs with kids, and kids responded better with Lagoona being pink. Honestly, I'm still not sure how that all happened, because Draculaura is pink. You know, Lagoona, she was always blue before. So, but this is interesting, right? So we now see a huge shift in a character, and in the fandom of Monster High was divided. They were taken by surprise. But I think by now we've all kind of gotten used to Lagoona, and just I think by now we're just, you know, it's okay. Like it's not a huge deal. Like, is it different? Yeah, but it's also a different version of the character. I think we have to remember that. So the design for Lagoona is also different. So not just the skin tone, but the face. So she went from having green eyes to teal, and now she has like brown eyes in Generation 3. She went from having scales, freckles on her cheeks, to having freckles, but plus some scales on her forehead. You know, so that's also a major difference in the face design. The makeup is kind of similar, to be honest, just G3 has more blue in the eyeshadow. The lipstick shades are kind of just different shades of pink. We have a flower for G1 and G2. Well, I added the flower myself on G2. That did not come with her originally, but I thought it looked cute. And then, G3 doesn't have a flower. She kind of has more of like a just normal looking hair tie. She had hoodies in G1 and G2. Obviously, with those core releases, they're very similar in design. We even have like a pearl kind of looking bracelet here for both dolls. The purses are different. Obviously, Neptuna, that's her little bowl. G2 did not have a bowl like that for Neptuna, and G3 also did not have that. So that's interesting. The outfit for G3 is the most different because it's no longer shorts with fishnets or a hoodie. You know, she's wearing a full-on like shirt with like off-the-shoulder jellyfish looking sleeves, which are super unique to me. And then her bottom is actually a maxi skirt with slits down the sides, and gorgeous looking like athleisure wear. So it's still sporty, you know, it still captures that kind of sporty look, but it's no longer just shorts. It is now like athleisure skirts. And then her fins have changed a lot as well. G1 fins used to come off easily, G2 fixed that, and G3 also, they are very sturdy. The other main difference here are that her legs are see-through at the bottom, you know, and they gradually turn into a pink here up top. So that is interesting how they had still a little bit of blue in her design for the body, but just at the bottom of her legs. The shoes are interesting as well. G1 has flip-flop wedges, G2 has sneaker wedges, and then G3 has kind of like a mixture of both past versions. So yeah, I think Lagoona has had a very interesting evolution. That does it for my little revisit to Monster High G2 and comparing all of the main 5 ghouls to their previous counterparts in Generation 1 and Generation 3. It's definitely always interesting seeing the evolution of these characters, different interpretations, different iterations, and like what they take with them and what gets carried on. You know, like the skin tone changes, the different attributes, the different features, kind of like getting a little bit updated, like the fins for Lagoona, the ears for Clawdeen, stuff like that. You know, like the body sculpts as well obviously are different, but I think it's just really interesting seeing the evolution here of G1, G2, and now G3. And you know what, for better or for worse, happy anniversary G2, because without G2 we wouldn't have gotten G3. Okay, so I do feel like at least one very good thing came out of G2, and it's that with its existence we were able to get Generation 3. So I do think we have to remember that without them here, without these 5 ghouls, we wouldn't have any new monster titles like this. So yeah. But what do you think? Which generation is your favorite? Which of these is your favorite, if you have any? Do you have any G2 dolls? Again, these are the only ones I have, and of course I also have Ari because she was part of the main line of the core dolls. It's weird how she was a new character for G2 and she never got introduced again in G3. So yeah. She took up Goliath's spot for whatever reason, but yeah, I this was just a lot of fun and very interesting to see. But what do you think? Let me know down below, and I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like, a share, comment, a subscribe, hit the notification bell, and please consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join is down below if you're able to, of course, no pressure, and so you do not miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the doll tea you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time. Stay peachy. Kisses and happy holidays. Merry Christmas.